Mornings on 2 is hitting the road for a zip trip to Los Gatos.
It's really nice to come here on a nice day and just walk around and enjoy Los Gatos.
We're bringing you the city's most prized restaurants and bars the locals rave about.
We have such a loyal base of clientele. Their families have grown up here. We have generations now that they started off as children here. Now they're bringing in their children here and the grandparents and grandchildren. It's been something that's grown over the years.
Plus, it's a community staple that's been around for decades. Discover the Billy Jones Wildcat Railroad, born out of a love of trains and community, one of the few nonprofits of its kind.
A lot of the other ones in the area are private operations, privately owned, for-profit things that work to keep themselves afloat. We rely entirely on donations, on ticket sales to kind of help keep us afloat.
Then who's up for some trivia? You probably know Los Gatos means the cats in Spanish. Can you name the reason behind the city's name?
I don't know, maybe because there's a lot of cats around here. Well, I don't think in the 1800s it would be because of cute little cats. It would be.
You're right.
It would be something more dangerous.
All that and so much more as Mornings on 2 takes you on a zip trip to Los Gatos. And I have the perfect Los Gatos day for you. Let's start with an 11:15 screening of Oppenheimer. Then let's take a late lunch and catch Barbie at 4:30 and then hit the town for dinner. So many places to eat, to shop, and to stroll in this gorgeous, gorgeous town. Sort of at the far end of Santa Clara County. She is small, but she is mighty, and we are so glad that you are with us this morning as we are featuring all of the wonderful things Los Gatos has to offer. And we're certainly not alone, brought the whole family out here. We have Claudine Wong, Frank Malicote, and Sal Castaneda highlighting all the great people and places this town has to offer. And you know what, Frank, we'll start with you. It's a little early for a beer, I think, but at least we can learn about it there at Loma Brewing, right?
We will shortly, yeah. A little beer and baseball. Loma Brewery, owned by Kevin Youkilis, won a couple of World Series with the Red Sox, married Tom Brady's sister. Not too far away. So we will talk beers, baseball, also a little bit of trivia because a lot of heavy hitters came out of here, including an Academy Award-winning actress who was a big star in Gone with the Wind. Who was she and why do they call it Los Gatos? We'll answer all that and much more. But first, it's time to eat. And the only guy that does that is Sal Castaneda. Good morning.
Frank, good morning to you. We're here in front of Southern Kitchen, where in a little while I'm going to talk to the owner of the oldest restaurant in Los Gatos. And then we were standing here, my photographer and I, and someone brought me a cookie from Icing on the Cake, which is just out of camera view. So there are so many good places to eat: bakeries, restaurants, bistros, coffee shops, fancy, not fancy. So we're going to run through some of the places I found. And, this is one of those towns where you could probably spend a few weeks trying to eat at all the great places. So we're going to have more of that, Gassia. I know that there are places here that you would love, so just keep an eye out. I know you're right there in the middle of downtown. Yeah, and there are places that I think you'll love.
And also, can I mention another one of my favorite places to eat and ways to feed my family is the farmer's market. And Los Gatos has an amazing farmer's market. Sunday morning, bring your basket and your little ones and just pick up your fresh produce for the whole week. All right, Sal, we will see you here in just a few. Before we go on, we're going to take somewhat of a deep dive into Los Gatos history. But let's go back, I don't know how many years, 20, 30-ish or so. I have to mention to you that this show right now is being directed by a very proud Los Gatos High Wildcat, class of 1985. And he says he's got a lot of friends he keeps in touch with from high school. So Ken from Los Gatos says hello. And let's take now even a deeper dive into the true history of Los Gatos by leading on my co-anchor, Andre Sr.
You ever feel the need to chase the sun? Follow any road you can to Los Gatos. The city averages 330 sunny days every year. Yep, you heard that right. Put another way, Los Gatos only has 35 days every year where it isn't sunny. The city sits about 60 miles south of San Francisco, in the southwestern part of Santa Clara County. Los Gatos stretches from San Jose and the valley floor to the heavily wooded hillsides of the Santa Cruz Mountains. But what about the name Los Gatos? Well, early settlers originally named it La Rinconada de Los Gatos, or Cat's Corner, due to the screams of mountain lions that call the area home. Like much of the Bay Area, Los Gatos has gone through tremendous transformation over the last century and a half. From wheat farming, logging, and fruit orchards to a high-tech hub. Netflix is the city's largest employer, with more than 2,000 people currently clocking in every day. Today, more than 33,000 people call Los Gatos home. It offers those who live here or those making a pit stop on the way to Santa Cruz a seemingly endless supply of good restaurants, wine tasting, and hiking trails through the redwoods and the Santa Cruz Mountains.
And at the very intersection of art, history, and education here in Los Gatos, you will find the new Museum of Los Gatos. Our Claudine Wong is there to highlight all the important things we can learn about and look ahead to when it comes to this town of Los Gatos. Claudine.
Yes, Garcia, a must-see stop here if you're coming to the town of Los Gatos. We're actually in the artist studio, which is right when you walk into the new museum, Los Gatos. This is what you'll find. One of their exhibits that is all about concept to creation. It is very cool, and it's been so fun to hang out here this morning, get a look, and to give you a look. Kimberly Snyder is the executive director of the museum. Thank you for coming in early. You guys are opening in just about an hour from now. Tell me about New Museum.
New Museum Los Gatos is an art and history museum. We're located in the heart of downtown Los Gatos. We love to connect our community with local artists and history of the Bay Area.
You kind of have everything in here, and I know we sent our photographer, George Bustos, downstairs to your permanent collection because that's about the history of this town. I mean, you guys have been around since the 1960s, and so the history of this town is really important. Tell me about that permanent exhibition downstairs.
The exhibition downstairs is the Los Gatos History Project and something we're really proud of. It features items from our permanent collection and showcases stories that many folks can relate to.
Yeah, let's show that video right now of people down there because really it's pretty broad and wide and it's still growing.
Yeah, that's correct. We have over 3,000 items estimated in our collection and we're digitally archiving them. Right now we have about 1,900 on our website.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's come back out here live because what you guys have out here is really interesting in terms of exhibits. Tell me what we're looking at here. This is beautiful.
This is a work by Chelsea Stewart, who's a Bay Area-based artist. You'll see that she's working in paper that she's actually made, and she focuses around themes of mental illness. This was a survey that she created where she asked folks to talk about their experience with mental health. So you'll see that these have various text on them that talk about these internal struggles that people are having.
Yeah, I love one just as it's parenting and relating to others in general, really just speaking to us as humans and really how we struggle. I'm going to send George kind of down this wall, though, too, because there is an exhibit that you have called On Edge, and I walked into that, and I was just struck by kind of the beauty of it and really kind of what it stands for. Tell me a little bit what we're looking at here.
This work is by Kiana Harneman, and she is an Iranian born and raised artist. She moved to the States in 2012, and this work has politically charged statements in it surrounding women's rights. And the idea behind it is that there's this light inside of it that's kind of overcoming these challenges and speaking to the resilience of women.
It's really remarkable and stunning, and as you come out here, you know, the chance for people to see this, do you feel like people come in here and they're just struck by, you know, how diverse your exhibits are and how many places they can kind of come in and sit in?
Yeah, I would agree to that. I mean, the fun thing about the museum is there's always something new to experience. We have rotating galleries, and this show we're really proud of because we feature 3 artists working in various media, all exploring these really big topics of mental health, the immigrant perspective, and women's rights.
Yeah, really important. And you do also have a high school program that just got recognized as well and continues to be recognized.
Yeah, the long-running program, Art Now, is our annual high school juried exhibition that was established in 2012, and we're so thrilled that we received the Superintendent's Award from the California Associations of Museums.
Amazing. Okay, so I got people at home I know who are sitting there going, all right, I'm in, I'm coming. This weekend, you're saying, is actually probably a great weekend to come.
Yeah, so every month we do free first Sunday, so we waive general admission, and we also do tours. So this weekend we'll have Rev, the dynamic duo that you saw at the beginning of the exhibition, Rachel and Rigel Hunter, and they'll be doing about a 30-minute tour at 11 a.m.
Amazing. Kimberly Snyder, I appreciate the tour. It was so amazing.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Really, a remarkable museum, and I love these museums that you can kind of come in, and you can come through quickly if you don't have a lot of time, but if you really want to sit, this is one of those museums that you can do that as well. For me, it's a choice to be overwhelmed or to just kind of come through, and I think this is really everything. It's art, it's history, it's everything that you would be looking for, Garcia.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love you can get a little 30-minute taste, maybe take a break for lunch after that tour that starts at 11, then come back and do a really deep dive. All right, Claudine Wong, thank you. Thank you so much. When we come back here, we are still focusing on all the things you know and love about Los Gatos and some things that you may not have known. In our Zip Trip Trivia, we are focusing on the town's biggest employer, a great big Hollywood name here in this little southern Santa Clara County town. And we have a lot more to share with you. Someone very famous. She was the face and the name of women's figure skating for so long. She is from here. We'll dive into that with Zip Trip Trivia when we come back here in gorgeous Los Gatos. The Los Gatos favorite omelet here at Southern Kitchen is ham, mushrooms, artichokes, and jack cheese. You can also get chicken and waffles and everything in between. It is a gorgeous sunny start to your Friday, and people are enjoying an incredible breakfast at one of the oldest restaurants here in this town of Los Gatos. We'll get to food in just a minute, but first let us learn a little bit more. Our Frank Malicote came out here just a bit ago and talked to people who thought they knew Los Gatos, but Frank, I love it when people are sure they have the right answer and then it turns out to be wrong in your Zip Trip Trivia.
Absolutely. And, you know, after a deep dive into the history of Los Gatos, I discovered there are a lot of heavy hitters that grew up here. John Steinbeck, the literary giant, actually had a summer home here years ago. And 2 Academy Award-winning actresses, sisters, graduated from Los Gatos High in the 30s. And one of them was a big star in the movie Gone with the Wind in 1939. And why do they call it Los Gatos, the city of cats? Well, let's find out what the people know. I took to the streets and found out they need a little work. Olympic gold medalist from the 60s, figure skating, the face of figure skating for years. And she grew up right here in Los Gatos. Who is this?
The only Olympic skater I know is Tanya
Harding? That's the only one you know?
That's the only figure skater I know.
She did not have a good career.
Is it Christina Yamaguchi or something like that?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know figure skating. I think it's a good answer.
I think it's a good answer too. And you're wrong. Initials PF. Do you need another vowel?
I do. Where's Vanna?
Oh, I can't think of her name.
Oh, come on.
Oh, darn.
I mean, you guys are similar in age.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, darn.
Darn. Think back. 1968
Tara
Lipinski. Tara Lipinski. Tara was not born in 68. What's her name?
I can't remember.
Oh, come on. Louise.
No, I can't get names.
What's a nickname for Margaret?
Peg. Oh, Peggy Fleming.
Yes! They have a market cap of $190 billion, and it's one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world, and they're right here in Los Gatos. Can you name the company?
Apple.
Apple. Well, there's an Apple store right there, but they're in Cupertino.
It's based from here?
Yes.
What kind of company?
Like a streaming company.
Oh.
And you use it.
Netflix.
Really?
I use Netflix.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Do I? Netflix?
You are correct.
I'm right! I'm so smart! You know what?
You ask me about the style, about the fashion, I'll answer everything. You ask me, hey, listen, I want to go to this wedding, I want this event, what I want, I'll put together a beautiful thing for you.
But I want Netflix. That's
yes,
the answer.
He's here.
I know. Do you use Netflix?
No.
No.
I can barely get our TV on and off.
In Spanish, Los Gatos means the cats, and you'll see statues like this one in front of the high school throughout the town. But why back in the 1800s did the settlers name this town Los Gatos?
I don't know, maybe because there's a lot of cats around here, but...
Like kitty cats?
No, yeah, like actual cats. Like I've seen a bunch of them, like an unhealthy amount of them, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think in the 1800s it would be because of cute little cats. It would be...
You're right.
It would be something more dangerous.
Like a mountain lion,
yeah,
right?
mountain lions, yeah.
There used to be wildcats up in the hills.
Yeah. Final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Bobcats.
Bobcats.
Is that right?
Maybe.
Mountain lions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Where did that come from?
That Los Gatos Trail, there's mountain lions?
Yes.
Is that right?
See, this is easy. She was a 1934 graduate of Los Gatos High School, won 2 Academy Awards, was in maybe one of the biggest pictures ever in 1939, Gone with the Wind, one of the stars.
Oh, Scarlett, You have so much life. I've always admired you so. I wish I could be more like you.
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn. No, 39 was before her time,
Oh.
too. Are you into movies at all?
Yeah, I know the Barbie and Oppenheimer just came out.
Okay.
Hi, Ken. Oh, just a minute.
Yeah.
They were sisters.
They were. Yes.
Again, my
Scarlett's sister was Melanie, who played Melanie.
Oh, you're here. You're really here at last. Oh, my dear, I've waited so long.
A French first name.
Marie.
Marie.
No way, is that right?
No.
Olivia or her sister
Olivia. And what's her last name?
de Havilland.
You are correct. Yeah, that was a tough one. Olivia de Havilland lived to be 104, passed away in Paris just 3 years ago, believe it or not. A 1934 graduate of Los Gatos High School. She won 2 Academy Awards, and her sister, Joan Fontaine, followed her and won an Academy Award as well, and also a Los Gatos resident. So a lot of heavy hitters here, to say the least. Coming up a little later, we're going to enjoy a few beers here at the Loma Brewery. It's owned by Kevin Euclid, who is former Red Sox, won a couple of World Series, and he makes a heck of a beer. Beer and baseball coming up. Dan, can I have an IPA, please, sir? We're pouring. Sal, I know you're a little jealous. You're eating, and I'm drinking at this early hour. Oh, that looks good.
It's never too early for an IPA, Frank. Thank you very much. I'm here with Sarah Williams, who is the owner of Southern Kitchen. And Sarah, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I love this spot. I love the outdoors here. This is one of the things that attracted me to stop here and look at this Southern Kitchen. This is a place that has, in fact, let's keep going over here so we can see the background. This is a place that has chicken and waffles, Southern style. Tell me more about that.
Chicken and everything is made in-house. All of our recipes are homemade. Our biscuits, gravy, fried chicken. So we take a lot of pride in the quality of our food and the quality of our service.
This is the oldest restaurant in Los Gatos. You were just telling me off camera that you grew up in this place. You went to high school here, and you ate here before you knew this was going to be your future.
Yes, I did. Little did I know it's been around since the early 70s. So.
Wow. Okay. And what makes Los Gatos such a great place to eat? Because definitely this place, not just your place, but just a lot of places, bakeries, bistros, so much.
Just our beautiful outdoor setting. Just the community is so wonderful here, so it's nice to be outside and be enjoying our beautiful town.
Sarah, your coffee's good. What is, if I came here and you had one dish to recommend to me, just one, let's say I'm in town from Chicago, I'm going back, I'm never going to eat here again. Just give me one dish that I should get. You're the owner, you should tell me.
Okay, chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits.
Did you hear that? Chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits. This lady's never met me before in my life, and she nailed it. So thank you very much, Southern Kitchen. We're so glad for your success, and so many of
here. My pleasure.
And so many of the people have said so many nice things about you. And this setting is so. Not only is the food good, but the setting is great. Thank you, Sarah.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, so Gasia, if you are looking for yet another place, I think you mentioned that they have good omelets here, and they do.
Yeah. Awesome. I love salty sweet, so I'm with you, and I'm with her on the chicken and waffles, and why not shrimp and grits as well. All right, Sal, thank you. We'll see you again in just a minute here. Speaking of eating and drinking, and really community, which is what this Zip Trip and every Zip Trip is really all about. An amazing festival in mid-September, and we are going to draw you there. The Art and Wine Festival takes over Los Gatos for 2 gorgeous days. It is wine, it is art, it is family, it is seeing neighbors and seeing people you haven't seen in a long time, and there's an amazing push behind it because the Art and Wine Festival in Los Gatos helps the entire community. We'll talk with one of the organizers and help get you there when we come back on this gorgeous Zip Trip, a beautiful Friday. Couldn't be prettier here in Los Gatos. Stay with us. Welcome back to our Zip Trip, focusing on all the wonderful things Los Gatos has to offer, and one of them is coming up in about a month or so, the Los Gatos Art and Wine Festival. It is a time for community, it is a time for art and for wine, a lot of good food, and meeting new faces. Let's introduce you to Rusty Reinhardt. You're a longtime organizer of the Art and Wine Festival here in Los Gatos. Thank you for being with us, Rusty.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
You have been doing this for an awfully long time here in Los Gatos.
We have been, Kiwanis Club put this on for 27 years here in Los Gatos at the beautiful downtown Civic Center, both the lawn and the redwood trees. It's just a perfect setting. It's beautiful every year.
let's see if we can't get people to really understand what their experience will be when they come to the Los Gatos Art and Wine
When
Festival.
they come to the Art and Wine Festival, we'll have over 5,000 people there. We've got craft breweries. We have local wineries. We have 140 original artists and crafts. Just beautiful things every year.
Yeah.
And we have a great music lineup, absolutely fantastic music lineup all weekend long.
So basically, it's a 2-day party here in Los Gatos, but the effect of the Art and Wine Festival is felt all year round. Let's talk about the good that you're able to do through the Kiwanis Club, through the people who come here to Los Gatos.
Through the Kiwanis Club, you bet. Every dollar we raise at the Fiesta de Arts, Los Gatos Art and Wine Festival, goes right back into the community. One of the things that we do, which we're very proud of, is the Turnaround Scholarship, which we have every year. These are for students who have undergone and experienced risks and hardship in their lives and have turned things around, and we honor them. We also have merit scholarships at our high schools, and we have a very special event every May where we have Olympics for at-risk kids who have physical disabilities, and it's a little mini Olympics for them, and it's a wonderful program.
I can imagine the smiles.
It's a great program.
I have to mention, when I was doing a little bit of studying on Los Gatos, I found that the median home price was around $2.2 million, and Los Gatos is frequently on the list of most expensive zip codes in the United States. A lot of people don't know that there is need here in this town.
There absolutely is need in this town. That's correct, and we honor that and appreciate that through our programs at the high schools and at the local schools as well.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about Los Gatos, Rusty?
Favorite part, there are some great restaurants around here that my wife and I love to go to. We try to catch one every year.
I like it.
Or every week, actually.
There you go. Why not? Rusty
absolutely.
Reinhardt, such a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. Come on over to the event.
Absolutely.
September 16 to 17.
That's right. From 10 in the morning, I think, till about 6 o'clock. And it's right there on the Civic Center lawn. There's live music, vendors, food trucks. The event is free. But, of course, you have to pay for your food and drink, and that's what supports all the wonderful things that this town is able to offer to all of its residents. Rusty, thank you so much. Rusty mentioned he likes to eat and drink his way through this town, and I bet you do too. And our Southcast data is actually showing you some of the best places to enjoy a bite and a sip or 2 or 3. When we come back, he'll highlight some of them and his taste of the town through Los Gatos. So stay with us. Welcome back to Los Gatos, 33,000 residents, one of the oldest communities in Santa Clara County. It's bounded by San Jose to the north and east, Campbell to the north, Montserrano, Saratoga to the west, and Santa Cruz County down to the south. 14 square miles in all, and boy, she packs a punch. We're beginning to wake up a little bit here on this gorgeous Friday morning. People strolling, sipping, starting their day, and you really cannot forget what Mom always said. Sal Castaneda knows this. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Lunch and dinner count big as well. Sal, you always have the best assignments. You got to taste your way through this gorgeous town.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm standing in front of the Purple Onion, where if I had to choose one dish to have here, it would be the quiche. I was just talking to the owner off camera here, and she says they make it from scratch every day. So if you happen to come to the Purple Onion, my advice is to get the quiche. However, there are so many good places to eat in this town, just too many for me to mention. But here is what I found when I came through Los Gatos. Taste of the town. Los Gatos has beautiful views of the Santa Cruz Mountains and a lot of places to eat in a charming downtown area. If you're new to Los Gatos and hungry, I'd recommend starting on Santa Cruz Avenue. You can easily walk up and down the street and find seemingly everything. I saw Vietnamese food right next to a sushi bar within a short walk from breweries, bakeries, and bistros. The locals confirm there are plenty of choices.
Oh my gosh, a variety. It just depends on what they feel like. There's a really good pizza place down the road, Mexican food. This is a great place for brunch.
This is a great place for brunch. It's the Los Gatos Cafe. Just watching the kitchen, I felt as if I'd gone to short order cook heaven as the dishes kept coming out of the window.
Everything on their menu is actually amazing. We've been coming here for 14 years.
I would say choose one of the specials from the board and grab a table outside. Although the place welcomes tourists, we saw mostly locals on the day I visited, and there's a reason for that.
The food is very consistent, amazing staff, the service is very good. I just wish they would be open longer so we can get dinner too from here.
Next, I'd headed down the street to Willow Street Pizza. Again, the Los Gatos weather is reliably good, so I saw most people sitting outside. Inside, a wood-fired oven is the key to making the pizzas. The pizza smells delicious.
I know, you better get one.
I will. Trust me, I've eaten my way through this place before. The key here is fresh, local ingredients.
So we make our dough in-house. It's 100% 00 organic flour, and the pizzas are thin crust.
Let me just go on record saying I like the pizza Willow Street calls the Italian. So I took a portrait for social media of this beauty. Willow Street also makes more than pizza in case you want pasta, salads, and burgers, and of course cocktails if you're so inclined. Next, I walked over to Old Town Los Gatos to visit a family-owned restaurant that's been pleasing Los Gatos customers for more than 40 years, Steamer's Grill House.
Since we started in '79 here in town, locally, we've consistently strived to bring in the best quality and the best people for our staffing.
Although Steamer's has many dishes on the menu, I got to try perhaps its most popular dish, made personally for me by Paul Madalich, one of the owners. It's the house-made linguine with wild blue prawns, Dungeness crab, and mushrooms in a garlic lemon butter sauce. Just watching the way Paul made this, I knew it would be a good dish, and messy eating aside, I was right. So right. Finally, there's a local bar right on Santa Cruz Avenue called the Black Watch, which has been in the same spot since 1959, as it says right on the sign. This place gets packed, but I came during a quiet time to have bartender Jennifer Anzalone make me the drink the place is famous for, the Kamikaze. Drink carefully because these drinks aren't weak. As we toasted together, Jennifer told me this place is the ultimate local bar.
It's like Cheers. We know your drinks, your names, you're our friends, you're our family.
It's funny because when I was a young man, I came to the Black Watch, and now I'd probably be more of a wine cellar guy, which is right around the corner, sipping my wine like a genteel gentleman that I am as a middle-aged man. So this place really does have something for everyone. And there's a brewery, too, and it's owned by Kevin Youkilis, the former Major League Baseball player that we love to hate, and that's where Frank Malicote is right now at the Loma Brewing Company. Frank?
All right, Sal, we're actually enjoying a beer or two here. It's the Loma Brewing Company. It's been around since 2016. It's owned by three-time All-Star from Major League Baseball. That's Kevin Youkilis, who played for the Red Sox and the Yankees and the White Sox. I actually used to cover him years ago when I was out in Boston. Won a couple of World Series. And something about Kevin, he would go from city to city, have a couple of beers, and said, you know, when I'm done with baseball, I want to open up a brewery. And he's done that right here in Los Gatos. Let's bring in Dan Renicky. Dan, you played baseball with Kevin at the University of Cincinnati.
Yeah, we actually lived together for a year at the baseball house in Cincinnati, yeah.
I've heard about that, but you can't talk about it, right?
Nope, not disclosing
You'd
information.
have to kill me?
Yeah.
You'd have to kill me. So how did beer and baseball all come together? By the way, Dan is the general manager here.
Yep, general manager, partner. Essentially, Kevin and I have been brothers since we played ball. He's always been a big beer fan, Kevin, traveling around, trying different stuff. Always had a kind of a burning sensation in the back of his head to own one of these and produce beer.
Yeah, very competitive guy, kind of fiery. I remember him as a ball player. Does he bring that into the beer making as well?
Yes, he does. So he is involved in all aspects of operations. He's an idea guy, constantly coming up with stuff. But he also is an everyman, right? So he gives a perspective of people of what they want.
Yeah. Tell us about Loma Brewery. What do you guys make, and how do you distinguish your beer above the rest?
Everyone makes great beer. There's a lot of great beer out there. So our sort of idea is to bring an experience, right? We want people to enjoy themselves here, watch the game, bring their family, date night, bring a large group. The transition of the beer game is happening now with these tap rooms. So getting involved in the local communities and creating a gathering space.
And you guys are growing. You're opening up a tap room in Manteca, right?
Actually, yeah, production facility. We just can't. It's a small place. You know, we're a mom and pop's place, but we're trying to get to that next level.
All right, we got a couple of your canned beers and some of your drafts here. Tell us about it. Tell us about this baby too.
Our brewer does a really good job of the barrel age program. So this one happens to be a Scotch ale that we laid down for 8 months in a whiskey barrel. So brings a totally unique aspect and taste profile. Of course, we do IPAs. We are California, so West Coast IPA Appeasement. That's the one that won gold in 2017. It's also probably our most popular beer. But we do some lighter styles as well. We do an English mild that's been laid down in oak. We do Mexican lager brewed with lime. So we have a one-man show. Justin Peck is the brewer, and he does a really fantastic job of keeping things fresh.
And kind of the little engine that could, how do you grow the business?
How do we grow the business? That's the age-old question. Like I said, experience. If people leave here with a good feeling, then they'll be back and they'll talk about us. Yeah. That's how we feel really confident in that.
And you grew up where? Chicago?
Chicagoland area.
And
yeah.
what's it like living? You live in Santa Cruz now, but Los Gatos. What's the community like?
Community is great. You've been walking around yourself today, just kind of interacting. It's very family-driven. It's a lot of really cool mom and pop places. It's got a lot of history, as you probably can attest to.
I found out, actually, yeah.
But more so, they've really embraced us, and we've been really thankful and grateful to be here.
Yeah. And is Kevin hands-on? Is he in here a little bit?
Yeah, until I tell him to get out. Yeah. No, actually, he's great. He's here when he's not broadcasting games for the Red Sox. He's here. We talk every day.
Yeah. All right. Should we have a beer?
Absolutely.
All right. What time is it?
Beer o'clock.
Yeah, it's beer o'clock. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dan.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Loma Brewery, you got to check it out. It's right here in Los Gatos. So we'll send it back to you, Garcia. I've got a beer to drink. Cheers.
You've got a job to do, Frank. Thank you. Thank you so much. Coming up, we are all aboard. One of the most fun things you can do for $3. It is family friendly, it is interactive, and it takes you on a trip back in time. We're going to highlight an amazing railroad that is a one of its kind. It has an incredible mission behind it. Our Claudine Wong is going to take us on that ride when we come back as we continue to focus on gorgeous Los Gatos this Friday morning on our Zip Trip. Welcome back to Los Gatos, a gorgeous place to live and to visit. I told you about one of my favorite things to do, the Los Gatos Farmers Market, Sunday morning. Right now, berries and stone fruit is where it's at. And as long as you're going to be here on Sunday, hang out for music in the park. This time, you'll hear the sounds of aardvark. They channel the Grateful Dead and have a distinct California sound. Yet another reason to stay in or come and visit gorgeous Los Gatos. And look, if you have little ones, and frankly, even if you don't, there is an incredible ride you can take. It only costs $3. And it will take you back in time. Let's bring in Claudine Wong. Claudine, my two little boys and I feel like we have sussed out every railroad there is in the greater Bay Area, but we did not yet know about the one you're about to highlight.
Oh, and this one is a must-see. I mean, really, this is one of those traditions that when we went to go visit the Billy Jones Wildcat Railroad, it was like generations of people. Some people knew who hadn't been there before who said, wow, I can't believe this is here. But some people who said, you know what, my kids have gone here, I went here, my parents went here. And it's because it's one of those long-time traditions that is so special to this community.
As the sun comes up, the engine heats up.
You have to show up 3 hours early to get it to where it will move. And so you gotta build it.
3 hours.
3 hours.
But you know you got it when it lets off a little steam. The bell rings and then choo-choo. Choo-choo. That unmistakable sound that calls to those young and old.
We're actually just on a bike ride. We live in Campbell, and she heard the train's horn and was like, let's go. So we went and we found the train.
Welcome to the Billy Jones Wildcat Railroad in Los Gatos, one of the few nonprofits of its kind.
So a lot of the other ones in the area are private operations, privately owned, for-profit things that work to keep themselves afloat. We rely entirely on donations, on ticket sales to kind of help keep us afloat.
This railroad was born out of a love of trains and community. It was back in the 1940s when Billy Jones found this number 2 train in a scrapyard and saved it, and then created something everyone could enjoy.
He loved trains, so he actually worked for the Southern Pacific Railroad for his entire career. So he grew up working with trains, and having the opportunity to run a small engine on his property was something that appealed to him. He also just had a general love and care for the community, so he wouldn't charge for tickets. Any donations that would come in outside of just general maintenance costs, he would donate to local charities.
It became a part of the fabric of Los Gatos. And Jones made sure it stayed.
We actually have a photo of Billy Jones and Walt Disney. We're actually friends to the point where Walt wanted the number 2 engine to operate in Disneyland originally before Billy convinced and encouraged him to get his own engine so that it would have its own history rather than erasing the history of the number 2.
After he died in 1968, a group of businessmen came together to make sure his legacy endured and moved the train here to Oak Meadow Park. Today, the tradition continues.
What are we going to go on?
We've been coming here since his daddy was his age. I like the engine.
And while it's not free anymore, the railroad says prices are kept as low as possible.
What's the first thing I said?
If it was overpriced, we couldn't do it, but if it was priced in the budget, we could do it.
Just $3 gets you a seat.
Have you been on this train before?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you like about the train?
The engine.
It takes you back childhood and
Makes
new
us feel
memories
like we're
for our
5 again.
boys. Yeah.
It gets you a ride past Los Gatos Creek and through the 12-acre park.
We never really went outside of San Jose, and now I live in Mountain View with my family, and I found this place, and my boys, I have 3 boys, they love the train.
It's slow and fun.
$3 will also get you on the W.E. Bill Mason Carousel, built in 1915. It joined the railroad in 1991 and beckons you to find that special horse.
It was like, it had blonde hair, it was the color white, and it had flowers and stuff on it.
And take a little spin.
In fact, we went to Disneyland and all he wanted was the carousel because of this one. We do the train and the carousel once a week at least. Yeah. Do you like the train? Yeah.
The carousel and this fleet of trains have a history, but so do the people who care for them, the high school kids who are your crossing guards and conductors.
All aboard!
Volunteers like Cortland, who do whatever is needed.
I like pretty much everything, and ever since I was like 9 or 10, I've been really into trains. I've been coming here since I was like probably a toddler. I do like any kind of like job that Doug wants me to do. Like I scrape rocks out of the ties. I work on the roofs sometimes.
And people like Kelly Locke, who started here as a teenager looking for a summer job and ended up board president.
Climbing the hill is the most challenging, which I really enjoy the challenge, especially with this locomotive. In 1970, I started training on the number 2 engine and became an engineer on the railroad in August of 1970.
Stop it.
So I've been an engineer here for 53 years.
Wow.
So there you go.
Why?
I'm still trying to get it right. And I will continue doing it until they either kick me out or I get it right.
I think he gets it right every single time. And really, what a fun day, Gasia, to spend. We rode that train maybe more than once, maybe more than a few times. And the food there is also inexpensive. So really, as a day and a trip out, the park is beautiful. What a special place and really kind of a gem of Los Gatos. If you are headed out here, that is definitely a place to stop with your kiddos.
And, honestly, because, and Claudine, you know this, we both grew up sort of in the heart of the Bay, because Los Gatos is somewhat on the fringe of the greater Bay Area. It's one of those, look, as long as we're going, let's do a bunch of things. And one of the bunch of things we can do is maybe go to the new museum, Los Gatos, because there really is a lot there to explore as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This place is so cool. We've been kind of just touring it and learning so much. And now we have like interesting factoids that we can tell you about Los Gatos. This guy behind us, one of our directors, was saying, is that Mountain Charlie behind you? That is Mountain Charlie behind you. Local legend, actually took tolls from stagecoaches. And if you look really close, here's the thing you need to look close. He's missing an eye, mauled by a bear. But there's actually lots of stories about an exhibit here. This is the permanent exhibit in New Museum Los Gatos, so it gives a lot of the history. Also, if you haven't heard about the boys, I found all of this so interesting. So first, openly gay common law married couple in the nation. Did you know that? So moved to Los Gatos in 1911. And so they were also artists. And so there is art here. And these are really kind of the special spots of Museum Los Gatos. If you come in here, you don't want to miss, right? You want to go downstairs, you want to go into the back, you want to go into all these different places. And that's really what makes a trip special, right? We mentioned before, free Sundays on that first Sunday. So this weekend they have artists coming in. You can come through here and you can kind of just explore. And I guarantee you there'll be spots going, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And then you'll want to come back.
Right. Right. Now, I mean, one of the best parts about Zip Trips, selfishly speaking, you know, Claudine and I, we'll get together and be like, hey, did you know? Or hey, I checked out this place. Or hey, have you been? And so it's almost like we get to go on our own Zip Trip as well. All right, Claudine, thank you so much. You know, as we focus on Los Gatos, we keep coming back to this theme of community, and it is all about togetherness, and togetherness really does breed wellness. So coming up, we're going to talk about, you know, a yoga studio that has been able to spread its message and spread its love all across really the country and the world. Started here in Los Gatos. They're doing amazing things in keeping people healthy and well. When we come back, we're going to talk with the head of Yoga Source, Linda McGrath, and focus on its important message next. Welcome back to our Zip Trip as we feature Los Gatos this Friday morning. We're talking about community and really partnered up with health and wellness. And for a lot of people here and elsewhere, it means yoga. I want you to meet Linda McGrath. She is the founder of one of the oldest and largest yoga studios here in Northern California, Yoga Source. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I have to tell you, as soon as I saw you kind of set up a little bit straighter, so I'll do that now. You know, yoga, so many people think it is about the physical movement, but it's also about what's inside the body.
Absolutely. It's based in mindfulness, so it's about paying attention with a kind of kindness towards yourself. So you're not judging yourself, but you're just observing as your body is moving, the sensations that it's giving you, and you're learning to interpret them skillfully, and then to make kind of adjustments based on that. And so it's a meditation in motion.
Can you tell me a little bit about, we're watching is she a student, is she a partner? Kaylani is here?
Kaylani is one of our teachers,
okay.
Yes.
She's doing some incredible movements. For those who don't know anything yoga, and I'll count myself in this group, what is Kaylani showing us?
So Kaylani right now is rising up into a crescent pose. So she's gonna lift the chest and reach the arms up. And this is a great way to open up the front of the back hip. Yeah. It's going to strengthen her legs. She's going to engage her core and create length through the spine. So it's going to work the entire body. And
it's a powerful pose.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, my two little boys actually started doing yoga, I think in kindergarten. And of course I'd seen it here and there, and I never really did it. And I stood in one of their classes and I did it, and those kids took to it. And I just thought, wow, this isn't as mysterious as some adults might think it is.
No, and it's actually kind of playful. It's kind of fun because you're just exploring different shapes with your body.
Cat, cow, and that
exactly.
sort of thing. Tell me about how you've been able to really spread your message that, number one, yoga is for anyone and everyone. And number two, it should be accessible to all. You've been doing this work for more than 20 years. Why is that in particular so important for you?
Well, I think that yoga should be able to welcome everyone, no matter their age, no matter their capability, and really honestly take you with open arms wherever you are.
Don't be intimidated.
Exactly. And just know that through the process of practicing, you're going to get stronger, you're going to become more limber, you're going to feel better, you're going to sleep better, it's not that you won't have stress in your life anymore, but you'll learn how to dance with it more skillfully.
Oh, I like that, dance with it, and instead of trying to stomp it out, you're like, this stress is a part of life. And
absolutely.
You mentioned to me a minute ago that during the pandemic, when we couldn't get together, when we couldn't all follow our fitness routines, people realized, wow, this is important. Tell me about what you've seen now that the pandemic has waned dramatically.
Well, I think that the pandemic has made us realize just how important community is and how impactful it is to hold the space for each other when we're going through hardship. And in a way, a challenging yoga class or a challenging Pilates class is going to put you in that kind of fight or flight because you are doing challenging movements. And so learning how to manage that, but also being in a space that's being held by all these people who are kind of quietly rooting for you as they're doing their own practice.
I like that.
That's just so meaningful and powerful. And people crave that.
They do, and also I'll go back to what you said about being able to dance with the stress that life brings us.
Absolutely.
As a big old truck rolls right through downtown Los Gatos, I am still calm in your presence. Thank you so much, Linda McGrath and Kehlani, for sharing Yogasaurus's work with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Congratulations to you. I am honestly more relaxed than I was before we did this segment. I'm not as flexible as I could be, but I could work on that. All right, it has been an incredible morning. The sun is out, the temperature is mild. You know, it's something like 330 plus sunny days here in Los Gatos every year. Our Frank Malico, we have Claudine Wong, Sal Castaneda. You guys, this has been just kind of one of the most kind of mild and invigorating zip trips we've been on. I mean, I know, Frank, you had an IPA not too long ago, so that's kind of different than what we were just talking about. But it's been a fun morning here, and I hope that's the case for you as well, Frank.
The Calicut Tunnel. Oh, St. Mary's.
I don't know if he can hear us. All right,
Oh,
who's next? Sal Castaneda, what do you say? What did you get some of that chicken and waffles?
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Now I'm back at Los Gatos Cafe, and I'm going to get the omelet with bacon and green chilies and cheddar cheese. How about that, Gasia?
Okay, all right, Claudine Wong, what do you say? You join me from the new museum at Los Gatos, and we'll meet up with Sal for breakfast?
I was just saying, if he's already ordering food, I think he should put in our order as well. But yes, that breakfast, a great way to kind of just start an entire day. The doors are getting ready to open at New Museum Los Gatos, and will be open all weekend long as well. And so, yeah, this has been a great spot. This, take a train ride, I think that just sounds like a perfect day, Gasia.
Awesome. All right, Frank Malicote, are you in? How about you pick up the tab this time?
I'm in. I'm sorry. I'm chewing the fat here, enjoying a beer on a Friday morning. Come to Loma Brewery. It's fabulous. And Los Gatos, I salute you. What a great little town.
Cheers to you, and cheers to Los Gatos for hosting an incredible zip trip on this gorgeous Friday morning. I do hope you come down here. Thank you so much for joining us. We are in Novato 2 weeks from today, but right now it is all about Los Gatos. Have a great Friday. We'll see you down here.